Just trying to get this whole thing situated here. And then, of course, we have to wait for my iPad to catch up. So, and I don't even know if anyone's here at the moment. I mean, I'm sure it takes a few seconds for this to get to the live spot. So we're just going to keep on refreshing my iPad and see if we're going to show up here live. If you are here and you do see me, please give me a thumbs up or comment or something, letting me know that you're here, maybe what your weather's like or something. I have not been live for a hot minute. Yay, Bonnie is here, so I know that you guys can see me. I was last live, I think, on the 1st of May. Yikes. I did have every intention of being live the next week, and then I did not feel very well, and I was so busy, I just could not get that done. And then, of course, last week we were in Disney, so I can't be live when I'm in Disney, right? Aha, there it is on my iPad. Yay. Now let's hope it lets me read your comments, because you know how it is. Technology is kind of a real bummer sometimes, but we'll see. I hope it's going to work. Hard to say. Well, it's doing something, so maybe that's a good sign. I don't know. But anyways, we had a fabulous time in Disney. I did not see my besties really at all. It was kind of a crazy trip. Kelly had her daughter and her grandkids, and Dina had her husband. I was with my daughter. Our other friend Lori was there with her daughter and her grandkids. And so, oh, I can't see the comments on here. Why? Oh, it's still. Anyway, and so we were all kind of doing our own sort of thing. And so we did not really see each other. Oh, what did I just do? I'm telling you, this thing is driving me nuts. Why this is such a big deal, why this is such a problem. It worked perfectly fine, and now it doesn't. And it is now like in a tiny little screen. I feel some curse words coming to the surface. I'm not going to do it, but I feel some coming up. Why is this doing this? It's like this tiny little screen on my big screen, and I don't know how to. I keep like tapping on it to sometimes if you tap on something, you get options of what you can do with something, but not this. And so I don't know what I did. Oh, I tell you, this literally drives me bonkers. Absolutely drives me bonkers. I don't understand why this has to happen. I just don't. And so this is, I'm sure, super annoying for you guys to sit here and watch me fiddle around with this dumb thing. And my apologies to you for that. But I really want to be able to see your comments after after I flip my camera. Because once I flip my camera, then I can't really see comments on my phone, which is also very stupid. So I don't understand any of this. And I'm not completely technology illiterate. I mean, I know some things, but apparently I don't know enough because here we are. Well, I think it's going to do the same thing to me again, where I can't see the comments. I don't know why that's happening. I have no idea. I swear that they change stuff all the time and nobody tells you, and they don't tell you how to fix stuff. They just change it, and then they're just like, well, too bad, figure it out. I did see a little tiny thing here that says top chat. And if I click live chat, then it's supposed to show me the whole feed of everybody's chats. But there's nothing. There's nothing there. I can see you guys are watching. I can see that you've given me thumbs up, but I can't see any of the chats. So I will try. It's like they come in on my phone and then they go away really quickly. So I will just try to use my phone. I will do my best, you guys. I promise I'll do my best. I don't know why this is doing this. It's really stupid. And now it's like freezing up on me or something. Am I freezing up on you guys? Or is this just my stupid iPad? The curse words, they're getting closer. I'm telling you. So Cheryl says I'm not freezing up. So there is definitely something with my iPad that's going on. I'm going to try to refrain from using curse words because you know what? Today we are working with some fabulous products. And so this should make a heart happy. It does. Anyways, so I didn't really see my besties. I saw them. I saw Kelly the first night that I got there for like 20 minutes, maybe, while we were standing in line doing something. And then my daughter and I left and went and did something ourselves. And then the next day we had the Stampin' Up! General session where everybody goes. I mean, demonstrators, not usually. Well, some people bring their spouses or something, but my daughter did not come. Kelly's daughter did not come. Dina's husband did not come. And so I did sit with them during that. And then I did not see them again. That was Wednesday morning. And I did not see them again until Saturday night when we were getting in line to board a bus to go to the final night event, which was held at the Animal Kingdom in the land of Pandora. Which is based on the movie Avatar. I've never seen it. I've heard it's pretty good, but I have not. But the ride, Flight of Passage, I believe it was called, when they first opened that ride, I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, the wait time was like hours, 5, 6 hours long. And I was like, who would wait in line for a ride for 5 hours? I would not. So we did not have to wait. We just walked right in, got on, we got off, and we walked right in and got on again. So that was really fun. Friday, we went to Hollywood Studios, my daughter and I. We did the rope dropping, where if you're staying at a resort, you can get in a little earlier than regular people. So we did that, and we rode the Hollywood Tower Hotel, that Tower of Terror ride, 3 times in a row in a half an hour. We literally did it. We got out, went back in, did it, got out, went back in, and did it a third time. It was so fun. We did ride every mode of Disney transportation that they have there. We rode friendship boats, water taxis, the riverboat cruise, the Skyliner, the monorail, and the buses. We did all of that. We did have Mickey head shaped beignets. Oh my gosh, those were delicious. We found funnel cake in the Magic Kingdom, which we did eat, which was delicious. We had just your standard kind of like, fair food, burgers, fries, pizza, chicken, strips, that kind of stuff. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on food because I knew that we were going to each want to buy like a shirt, and the shirts were pretty expensive. So we had cheap food. I mean, cheap for Disney World. And then we each got a shirt. She got a sweatshirt and I got a hoodie from the Tower of Terror because I was like a pro by then after I'd ridden it 3 times in a row. So that was really fun. So yeah, I did not really do any work at all. Normally I try to work a little bit when I'm on these trips, but I just couldn't. There was no time to work. I got 4 blisters on one of my feet and 1 giant blister on my other foot. So I was in some serious pain trying to walk around. We were averaging about 15,000 steps a day, which I don't know if this is true, but I kind of Googled how many miles is 15,000 steps? 7 miles. I was in awe of myself that I could actually walk that much. Granted, I did get some blisters. It is what it is. I just put some Band-Aids on them and just cried. And just grimaced every time we had to go somewhere because I had to walk. You have to use your feet. So that was pretty awful. But it is what it is, and we just kept going because you just kind of have to. If you want to do anything, you just have to keep going. So we did, and it was fine. And I didn't take my Crocs. I'm kind of a Croc lover. She got me to buy a pair of Crocs about a year ago. Oh my gosh, what did I ever wait for to buy Crocs? I wear them every day, all day here, but I didn't take them with me like a dum-dum. And so I think that might have been part of my problem. I was wearing my tennis shoes and my flip-flops, which I do wear because I only have like 3 pairs of shoes to my name. I'm not a shoe person. So yeah, and my daughter kept trying to tell me that I should buy some Mickey head Crocs. So they had black Crocs instead of having the little holes that the Crocs have. They have Mickey heads. They were so cute and I wanted them, but they were $60. And I have a pair of black Crocs. I don't need another pair of black Crocs. And so I ultimately did not buy the Crocs. I probably should have because my feet would have thanked me, but I did not. So anyways, that was the trip. It was really fun. We had a grand time. Flying home was a bit of a problem. As we were landing in Denver, my plane was boarding. my next plane. And we had to wait for a plane to get out of our gate so we could get into our gate. And then we had to wait for them to unload a bunch of luggage for like a weight and balance issue. So when I got off, I pulled one of those people that jumps up and says, I need to get off this plane first because I have a connecting flight that is boarding right now. And people were very nice and they let me off. And I was trying to run, but I could not run. I'm not a runner. So I was walking as fast as I could. I was breathing like a crazy person, you know, because I was trying to go as fast as I could. Because I was like, if I don't get this plane, then I got to stay here tonight. I didn't want to stay there overnight in Denver airport. Barf. So I barely made it. I was one of the last 2 people on the plane, and my luggage actually made it too. I couldn't believe it. So that was amazing. That was good. So the whole trip was good. We got some fun prizes, or I will share those with you when I flip the camera. And I guess that's it. Let's go ahead and get started because I have some fun things to share with you with that extraordinary floral stuff. So we might as well just go ahead and flip the camera just because that's what we're here for. We're not here to talk about, oh, you know what? I do need to check one thing. A lot of times my lens gets dirty and I forget that it's dirty. Oh, my phone just told me that my orientation is locked and I need to switch it. Yeah, phone, I know. Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, is that not going to go off? Ugh, I tell you, technology is just such a giant pain in the rear end. Okay, so it's saying rotate it. I did. Thank you. Sorry about all that. Hopefully that doesn't make anybody motion sick. But my phone was having a bit of a seizure telling me that I needed to rotate it, even though I was already in the rotated mode. Ugh, good grief. Dumb thing. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. There we go. Okay. So here's my glasses. You guys know I got to wear my glasses. Oh, I did forget to show you my shirt. We got shirts. I wonder if should I show you my shirt? I think I will because it's really cute. We each got a shirt. This was what we got. This is what it says. It was kind of all Mary Poppins-ish with the theme. There's like a little penguin up here and then a little kind of Mary Poppins shoe, and it says Orlando, and then it has some cute little things. And then on the back of mine, I had Barb stamps put on mine. So they were silk screening our shirts for us while we were waiting, as far as what you would put on the back. The front was already done. But yeah, we got these super cute shirts and I love it. I don't always love every shirt Stampin' Up! Gives us, but this one is really cute and I really do like it. So I will definitely be wearing it around. Okay, I'm having a hot flash, so bear with me. I gotta get my shirt, not my shirt off, my jacket. No, I'm not standing here naked. Wouldn't that be fun? Just kidding. Okay, so what did we get? Oh, I got this stamp set because we spin a wheel every day and then we get a prize. And this was a prize that I got one day. It's called Charming Day, and I cannot tell you when it's coming out. I feel like it's coming out in like July with the next release of online exclusives, but I'm not positive. I was just on a mission to get as much stuff done as I could while we were there. And so I literally ran into the spinning room, spin. My daughter would spin, we'd grab the prize and we'd take off. So I didn't spend a lot of time hanging out in there, you know, looking at the other prizes or anything like that. I just got it and left. But I loved that one. Then this is a new kit. This is not the right sticker. I just put it in here. This is a new kit that's coming out next month, I think, June. It's a scrapbooking kit. Normally we have card kits that come out every month, but this is a scrapbooking kit. It's called Make a Memory Scrapbooking Kit. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff in here. And then you never have to use these kits for scrapbooking if you don't want to. But if you do want to, then you should, because they're awesome. So there's these 4x6 cards that you could absolutely just use to make greeting cards with, not necessarily, you know, do scrapbooking with. They do give you some tear and tape adhesive and some glue dots. And then there is a lot of paper in here. This kit is actually very heavy because there is so much paper in it. These are stickers. We've got some leaf stickers. And then we have quite a few different patterns of designer series paper. These are some die cuts. Cute die cuts. More paper. These are single-sided papers, by the way. And this is Petal Pink, if my camera's not picking it up very well. I love stripes and polka dots. So whether I scrapbook with this or not, I will definitely use those for cards. That one. And speaking of scrapbooking, Stampin' Up! Is having a scrapbooking through the year, I think they're calling it. That's coming up in, I believe, July, but the kit for it is going on sale at the end of this month. These are also some die cuts. And you're going to make 12 two-page spreads, so 24 total pages in this class. It's going to be held in a private Facebook group. So they're going to, I think, maybe do it as a YouTube live and then put the link in there so that it'll stay in there forever. The cost is $250 and you get everything already prepped. So each month has a bag with all the things you need in each bag. It looks amazing to me. I'm not really a scrapbooker, but I am going to do this because I would like to be a scrapbooker. So I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. And I'm pretty excited. I don't know as though I'm going to be using, they have like little month die cuts. So you could put like January on your January spread and February. I don't know if I would actually put the months on there or if I would just take the layouts and then just add some photos. You know what I'm saying? So, but I am pretty excited about it because like I said, I'm not really a scrapbooker, but I would like to be. I've done some pages in my lifetime, just not very many. So, and then there are some stickers for some words. So that is a new kit that's coming out, which is pretty awesome. Like I said, it's very heavy. It's got a lot of stuff in it. I'm going to throw that on the floor. And then this is another prize that I won. This is called Christmas Tags and More Specialty 6x6 paper. And what's special about it is that it has some tag pieces. So you've got some die cuts here. There's 2 of each pattern. So there's this one with the fun cardinal and some other Christmas things that I know who's thinking about Christmas in May, but you know, it's coming up quick. And then here's another sheet of die cuts, and that is also a double. So you get 2 of each of those. And then the paper, it is double-sided, and there are 8 sheets of each design, and there are 4 designs. So you could make a lot of cards, you know, the same using the pattern paper. So I'm pretty excited about this paper too. It does have a coordinating bundle, I'm pretty sure, that goes with it. But this won't be coming out until the holiday catalog. So, you know, not till September, I'm pretty sure. But you got a little sneak peek of that. So I hope that you like that. I do love this Christmas paper too, Judy. It's really cute. Okay, and then we also got some exclusive paper for the trip. This is not something that Stampin' Up! Is going to sell. So I kind of thought about, should I even share it with you? Because sometimes, you know, I hate it when somebody shows something that you can't buy, but it's so cute, I had to share it. So it's basically based on the theme, like what's on my shirt, you know, that little Mary Poppins boot. And so it's the standard pack of Designer Series paper, 12 by 12, and it is double-sided. And here's the little teacup, which is really cute. Here are some kites and some hats. And then this was a really fun piece. You could kind of cut it and make, you know, cards with things just in the corner, which I thought was kind of fun. Or you could scrapbook with it. So I need to get my pictures developed. So that's one thing I need to do, is get all my pictures developed and then decide what I'm going to do. Some carousels. So stinking cute. And then that. And the cute little penguins. And just a collection of all the little goodies, the suitcase, the boot, the umbrella, that kind of stuff. And then finally this kind of paper that you can kind of cut apart. And we do have that little thing there, which is really fun. And then here's the back side of that. So that was really fun for us to get that. That was kind of a surprise in our hotel rooms the very last night, which was fun. Always love getting fun surprises. And then here's another paper that I won. This is kind of a fall paper. I think it's also coming out in the holiday catalog. Can't tell you for sure. Like I said, I just was running in and running out. I should have really gotten more information, but I was busy on vacation, right? So here is this is kind of man paper, and there's 3 sheets of each pattern. Love that. And then here's the back side of it. Yes, Holly, it is a great way to scrapbook our trip because, I mean, yeah, it's just really fun because, like, I'm wearing my shirt in some of my photos, so it'll totally match the paper. And there's this. I am kind of digging this for guys. Make Jaden a scrapbook for Christmas. Ooh, Cheryl, there is an idea. There's an idea. I just might do that. We'll see. That could be a goal. That could be a goal. I'll see what I can do. The foxes are gorgeous, Trish. I do love that fall paper. So, but today, what we're working on today is, where is my stamp set? Oh, here we go. The Extraordinary Flora stamp set. Sorry, I just dropped it on the floor. The die, it actually comes in oh, here it is. The die that cuts out this. And then, of course, I'm sure you guys have all seen this gorgeous washi tape. And so the washi tape, you just roll it out. It's got like sections where, this section here is kind of reds. And then you can see the next section is kind of like, purples. And so each section is, I think it's about 5.5 inches long, maybe. And so you can add this to lots of different things to cut these flowers out. Now, I had heard a little tip to just pull off some of this is from my glue dots. So that it's easy to get the ends, because when you push it down, obviously if I just push the tape down on itself, it would be a little bit harder to get off. So if you put this underneath just a strip of your glue dot paper, then it's always very easy to pick that up, right? Yes, I know, and it's so fabulous. So I have done a lot of die cutting of this stuff. So here is a little tray of goodies. Now these were all die cut onto white cardstock. So here is a strip of the purple. Here is a strip of the more red floral pieces. And then I die cut them all. So I stuck it down to my white cardstock. The die goes right over the top. I like to use this little flower up here in the corner to help me line it up. So you just line it up on there. And then I like to take some Post-it tape and tape the die down to my cutting plate. I have found that that's easier because the Post-it tape doesn't really stick to the washi tape, so you kind of need to have it stick to something else. So the tape will stick to the die and it will stick to the cutting plate. So then you just run that through, and then you get all these little pieces that are ready to do something with. And so I did it once with the red pieces and then once with the kind of purpley side. So I have all these little bits to play with right now. Then I also did it on vellum. So I still have some vellum. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell vellum anymore, but I still have it. I'm sure a lot of you do also. And so here is the vellum. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell a whole lot of difference. I can. This seems a lot brighter to me. This is a little more muted. So either way, it's fabulous, but it's just different. So that's the vellum. That's let's see if we can pull in something purple. Where's something purple? Here we go. Here's a purple. So that's on the white cardstock. What did I do with that piece? Oh, no, that's a window sheet. Where did I put that? Because I was playing around trying to design some cards. Oh, here it is. So here is the same thing again. This was on white cardstock. This was on vellum. The white just pops a little bit more. The vellum is just a little more muted. So just whatever your taste is. I also did it on a window sheet, so that's kind of interesting. So here is that kind of purple flower on a window sheet. Here it is on vellum. Now there's not a whole lot of difference between the window sheet and the vellum, so just so you know. And then here it is on the white cardstock. So I really like it on the white. I just like the color. I feel like the color is just so much more vibrant. And so I really like that the best. But, I guess if you were making a sympathy card or something, maybe you would want it a little more muted. Who knows? I did notice that if you stick, where's a good example here of, well, we can pull this in. This is just a piece of the washi tape on some white. I kind of felt like the one on the window sheet, I can sort of see as I'm moving this around, I can sort of see under it. Just barely. I can sort of see the colors popping through. And I don't, whoops, this is the window sheet. So on this one I can too. So the vellum and the window sheet, you can kind of see the color underneath kind of pop through. Whereas you wouldn't see that on, using a white background, you wouldn't see that as well. So here's the vellum, here's the window sheet, and here's the white. So these two kind of take on the color that they're sticking on, and then this one does not. The white does not. So let's go ahead and stick those back in their trays where they go. Okay, then another thing that I did with it was I just laid the washi tape onto my cutting plate and I just ran it through. So what I can do with this now is these will become stickers. So what I could do is I think I can peel back. I didn't even try this. I'm just assuming that I can do this. We'll see if I actually can. I thought I could kind of pull this back and peel up all of the excess without ruining any of the die cuts. And it kind of looks like I can as we're going down here. it might be more of a pain than, you know, it's worth to be able to have stickers made out of something. But, you know, again, time will tell, and you'll have to figure out for yourself what, you know, what you want to do. If this is something you want to mess around with or something you don't want to mess around with. But it's not terrible. It's coming off fairly easily, I'm finding. Get these out of here. And then I can just take these and use them as stickers. So you can kind of see what I've got going on here. And I guess if I was a little more mindful, I probably could have brought the whole thing at the same time and just peeled it all the way back. Let's just see if I can do that now. If I'm a little bit careful. Well, somewhat you can. It does come off pretty easily though, so I'm not struggling with it. It's not sticking on there to where I can't get it off. It's just that you have to get around all the die cut pieces there to get all this excess off. But I think that might be kind of fun to, you know, have these be little stickers. There, see, that wasn't too bad. Getting all that off. And I think if I had to use my take your pick tool, the pointy end, I could. But for now, my barely existent fingernail is working just fine. And so there, now I have a whole bunch of stickers that I could use on something. Whoops, let me get all these tiny bits off. And so I would probably put them on white cardstock and maybe like make a little pattern. Maybe we'll just do that. Maybe I'll pull out a piece of white and we'll make something with it. Okay. All right, I have a piece of white right here. So let's just do that. Let's just make a card doing that. So I am going to bring in a foam mat because this stamp set does have photopolymer images in it. And so here is a word in the stamp set that says congratulations. So let's just go ahead, since this is mostly kind of the reds, I think I'm going to stamp it in strawberry slush. And then maybe we'll just add some stickers around our word. Okay, I'm going to try to center it. I'm going to do my best. It's a handmade card, right? So it might not be perfect. I'm not terribly upset with that. Okay, so now I feel like we could just peel up some of these images. I can probably just use my fingernail. Oops, if I can get a hold of it. There we go. The only thing I'm slightly worried about is if it's going to tear. I don't know if it is. Like I said, I did not mess around with this at all. I just die cut it on there and then I left it thinking that we would do something with it. Let's see. I kind of feel like I want to put this around my word. Like maybe something like that. And then pull in another, maybe this rose. Let's pull this rose in. And we'll put it on also. Oops, that did tear a little bit. I think I need to go with the wide end where the flower is very wide. And then I think I should be able to peel the rest of these off. So you just need to be a little bit careful when you're actually peeling off the pieces. The excess came off no issues, but the pieces may be a little bit different. So there. So if you didn't want to actually put it on a piece of white cardstock and then run it through, you could just do this. Let's see if we can add a leafy piece here somewhere. You can see I used a brand new cutting plate for this. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do it. I think I'm going to tear off the end of this. And that way I think I can kind of layer this on here a little bit better. Like something like that. Okay. Yeah, this isn't terrible. Ooh, what's going on? Somebody's congratulating somebody for something. I feel like I would use a weeding tool. I don't know what that is, Valerie. What does the washi tape look like directly on colored cardstock? I was gonna do that here. Give me just a little bit, because I was gonna put that on a different color. I think I was gonna put it on some fresh freesia. Or actually I'll put it on some strawberry. Actually, let's do it right now. because I was going to put it on some strawberry slush, because the next section of my washi tape is the kind of reds. So let's just go ahead and peel this off, and we'll add it to a layer of strawberry slush. And we'll just peel that back. So it definitely takes on the color that's beneath it. I am going to peel this back just a skosh so that I can go around my purple flower here, so that the next section of things that I have, nothing is like lost. And then I'll just add this to, there we go. And then this is what it looks like on strawberry slush. So where's my white? So here's what it looks like on white. And then, so that same strip of washi tape on white and then on strawberry slush. I think it looks fantastic. I don't think it would be a bad thing to use it on there at all. It's just definitely a little more muted, a little softer, not so bold, but I think it looks great. So there we go with that. All right, let me just add a couple more pieces of this onto my card here, and then we'll just add it to a card base. And I mean, we won't go too all out with it. We'll just kind of have a few little things on here. I feel like this little leafy piece needs to be on here. Again, I'm going to tear off the end. I feel like it just sticks better. And it's not, I'm not noticing it not sticking, you know, while I am messing around with it and then trying to stick it and pull it up and stick it. I feel like it's sticking just fine, even though I'm messing around with it. Maybe we'll pull a little flower onto that. And we'll just add a little flower up here too. Yeah, I don't think that's terrible. I mean, it's plain, but I don't think it's terrible. And then if you threw it on a card, you could actually, don't we have, let me think here. What would that look like? If we put a little bit of strawberry slush twine, like if we tied a little bow and just kind of stuck it on there. I don't think it's terrible. Let me get that, tie it tight, snip that off. I feel like you could get away with that. I feel like you could do something like that, right? I don't think it's terrible. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to trim this down a little bit, and then I'm going to put another layer behind it of something. So we are going to go, so this is 4, so we're going to go 1/8 of an inch that way, 1/8 of an inch that way. Here we're going to just wing at what we think is 1/8 of an inch, since my little tiny trimmer doesn't go to pieces that big. And what if I pulled in, if we did some duckling? What do we think that would look like if we had duckling on there? I don't think that would be too bad. Let's try it. We'll try it. If it's terrible and we hate it, then we won't do it. Oh, I need a different trimmer for this side. I think we might have to trim that down. But I think that makes it even a little bit better, just doing that. What do you guys think? Still not the most exciting card I've ever made, but I think it would work, you know, in a pinch. So let's just do it. We'll finish it up because I have some other really fantastic cards. Actually, I'm going to scooch this over to the edges, and I'm going to trim off a little bit more of this Darling Duckling paper, because I don't want to have quite that much of a border showing. So I'm just going to trim off just a skosh here. Tiny bit more maybe. Okay. And then we're going to add this to the card. So this will probably be my least favorite card of the night, because I have some really, really good ones to share with you too. This was one that I didn't really plan. I thought, well, you know what? We'll just wing it and we'll see what happens. And I'm not a very good winger, but it's not terrible. Okay, so let's try to get that on there. We'll get a glue dot here. So I need to know, a poll. How many of you guys have this stuff? I guess let's start with the washi tape. How many of you have the washi tape? If you just have the washi tape and nothing else. I kind of think you have to have the die, though, to play with the washi tape. But you can let me know your thoughts on that. Ooh, that might not actually stick onto the washi tape, so we'll have to stick that onto the cardstock. Oh, come on, you. Stop screwing around. Maybe we'll have to go up there or to the side of it. Okay, and like I said, this is not my most favorite card, but it will do. So there's the first card, just kind of screwing around with it, not really having a plan. So let's put that aside. Now that we've practiced with that, we can practice with something else. So another thing I thought was kind of fun would be to use the die as a stencil. So I cut the die out of a piece of cardstock, just an old piece of cardstock I had. And then I stamped the full image because it's a one big stamp. So I stamped it in memento on a piece of white. And I am now going to glue this down. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of seal to the back of that so that it will hopefully stick. And then we can take this template here and we will get this as close as we can to this. I think something like that's okay. And then I'm going to take some Scotch tape and I'm going to tape it down on a few sides so that it doesn't move while I'm trying to use some blending brushes here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do an ombre effect. So I'm going to start with some balmy blue up here, come in with some Azure Afternoon, and then some, what is that last color? Blueberry Bushel. So we'll start with the balmy. I'll do just a little bit, and then I'll bring in my finished card that I did. I think you guys are really going to like it. It's really cool. Okay, I don't know if there's any comments coming in because sometimes I just can't. Ugh, this crazy thing. Okay, there we go. So here is some balmy blue ink. So I'm going to get a little bit on my brush. And then I like to use a clear block to kind of blend that a little bit better. And then I would come in here and I would just, I'm going to kind of go on the diagonal a little bit as I feel that's going to make it just look a little bit better. And so I'm just going to add some balmy blue here. Okay, so we've got our balmy blue added. Then we would bring in the Azure Afternoon. And we're going to add a little bit of that. I'm just going to kind of tap that off there. And again, I'm going to kind of go in a diagonal. Sort of motion here. And so this color is a little bit darker than the balmy. Okay, you can kind of see how we've got the little bit lighter and the little bit darker. And then when you add the Blueberry Bushel at the bottom, this is what you get. Look at that. So I've got my balmy blue here. I've got my Azure Afternoon kind of up there. And then I've got my Blueberry Bushel right here. That is pretty cool, don't you guys think? So then I just took, so this is just a layer of white. I backed it with a layer of the, what do you call that? I just lost my mind. Blueberry Bushel. And you could use blends for sure, but I kind of like the way that I could get the kind of ombre look using the blending brushes, which I don't know if you can really get that look using blends. Maybe you can. I'm not positive, but I don't know as though you can. So I just thought this was pretty cool. So then I just took a little piece of Azure Afternoon. It's about a 1.5 inch strip, flagged the end, put that on. This is a sentiment that comes out of one of our newer sentiment sets. This is the Right Words stamp set. And it says, I miss you already, which I thought was a nice little sentiment there. And I just added some rhinestones and a little bit of balmy blue twine. Now this little bit of embossing here on the side. This is one of the Glass and Gardens embossing folders. And it's the floral pattern. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that is a card that you can do. And you could do this in any color. You know, you could do it in purples, you could do it in pinks, yellows, whatever your heart desires. So I hope you guys liked that. I thought that was kind of fun, using it as a stencil. All right, what else do I have here? Here is another thing that I was just going to kind of mess around with. This is just a fresh freezer card base. And then I've got a 2 3/8 inch circle, and I thought I would just throw some flowers on there and, just sort of see how it would work. These are the vellum flowers. Whoops, this one is a white. These are all vellum. I don't know if I want to use the vellum. I think I might want to use the white. So I'm going to throw the vellums back in there, and I'm going to bring in my tray. And of course I have to use this giant, beautiful rose image. So I guess what I should do, and again, this is going to be a card, like, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I'm just winging it here. So hopefully it doesn't stink. All right, what else do we have? We have this large piece here. I kind of feel like the flowers could kind of be in the center of the circle. And then maybe we could just kind of throw some greenery, around it here and there. Throw some greenery pieces. Actually, we could probably... Ooh, this one's a fun one. I like how this washi tape is a little bit, like, lots of different colors are on here, and I think that's really fun. Lots of different hues of green, and then of course we've got the beautiful flowers. I think there's like some blackberry bliss in there, maybe some petunia pop, that kind of stuff. I think that might work pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down these pieces onto the circle. So we'll just sort of, and I might go just slightly over the edge of the circle too. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. There's no guarantees that this is going to look good. We're just winging everything right now here, folks. This, I think I'm going to go with a dimensional, because why not, right? We're just kind of doing some different things with all this stuff here. And then this little guy, I think he can go underneath there also. And you know what we could do? We could take this and we could pop it up. Let's try that. Let's see what that would look like if we added some dimensionals to this. And then we stuck it on the card. And what if we had some more little pieces that kind of came from underneath? Would that be too much? That might be too much. But we could certainly add this little guy here. Kim is asking, did I have a good incentive trip? I did. It was fantastic. My daughter and I had a great time. We ate a lot of junk food. But we walked, the 15,000 plus steps every day. So we felt like we could eat what we wanted to and not have to worry about it, right? This one you can see where I had the washi tape, the end of the washi tape wasn't quite in the die. So this would definitely be something that I might say, if I was going to make an inside for this card that I'm working on right now, I might just glue this on the edge, on the inside. In fact, let's just do that right now. And then I would just cut off the rest of it. So we could do this. We could go something like that. We could have another little foliage piece if we needed to, or we could just add a flower, something like that. And then that would just work for the inside, I think. Just add a flower there. And this I'm just going to add to the front. I think just plain, just like it is. Ooh, you know what I could do, though? I could do some zigzagging of some ribbon. Hold on. Let's find something. I think this might be kind of fun. This is the iridescent striped trim. And I kind of feel like we could pull one of these jobbies. The zigzag effect. Oh goodness, don't be sticking on there right now. We are not ready for that. We are not ready for that. Okay. Yeah, I think that might actually work out pretty good. So I'm going to stick this on the card. I'm kind of one of those people that likes to have my zigzagged ribbon be kind of, I guess for lack of a better word, perfect, which it's never going to be perfect, but I kind of feel like doing it like that makes it feel like it's a little more perfect. And you know what? Look, this is what my iPad looks like right now, you guys. Look at this. There's literally nothing on it at all. Nothing. Ugh, that thing. And I just did an update on it too. So I thought that it was going to be good because the last time I went live, it worked just fine. And here we are, and now it's not. So technology is a real bummer. Okay. I actually feel like this is not the way I want it to be. So we're going to try this just a little bit differently. There. And we're going to turn it slightly. Then we're going to bring in our gorgeous little floral spray here. Yeah, that is going to work, I think. That is going to work. But you know what I'm going to actually do with it? I'm going to do it upside down, and I'm going to stick my thing. Which way was right side up? This way. So I'm going to do something like this. And then I'm going to add some seal back here. I hope I can anyway. Nope. Boy, I'm just making a giant mess out of this. And here I thought this was going to be such a great idea and it was going to look so fantastic. I think it's still going to look fantastic, but I am kind of making a mess out of it. Maybe I should do it like this. How's that? That's not good. Boy, I don't think I should do any more lives where I don't really know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Where I don't have a plan. I think I need a plan. I think Barb works better with a plan than no plan. I do have I had 3 cards planned, and then I was going to just kind of wing a few more. And obviously, I am not a winger of cards. Although I have to say, I would not be mad to get this card in the mail. Let's just say that. Because it is pretty. So we could do something like that. I did have these cute little gems that are on the... oh, these are gone. I guess we won't use those then. What do I have that isn't gone? I should have something in here. I think I pulled them out of there and I was going to put them somewhere else. Ooh, these would probably look fun. These are the iridescent faceted gems. And I feel like that we could just throw a few on here and that would just add to the fabulousness of the whole thing. No, I didn't get the glue on that little stinker. There we go. Okay, so here's the card. I know it's kind of boring, but I feel like the ribbon and the things kind of jazz it up a little bit. So I wouldn't be opposed to getting this in the mail. So that was using the white cardstock on the back of those things. Okay, so I, of course, have another little thing to share with you. Let me get a little space here. You know, Barb doesn't like a mess, and everything's getting messy. Okay. I also wanted to make a card using just a piece of washi tape on a piece of white cardstock. So I just took the washi tape, I stuck it on a piece of white cardstock. I trimmed it down to, where's my ruler? So the white cardstock, after I put the washi tape on, I trimmed it down to 2 3/4 by 4. And then I mounted it on a piece of Poppy Parade that is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. Okay. Then I used a soft seafoam card base. And then I used my large stamp and I inked it up in soft seafoam. Where is my large stamp? Here it is. I inked it up in soft seafoam. And then I stamped it once like this with the soft seafoam. And then I stamped it once right above there again in the same soft seafoam. So I've got a layer of soft seafoam on there. And then I'm going to put this on here. But I wanted to add some ribbon. And I wanted to bring in this pretty gold striped mesh ribbon. And so this is a little bit of a trick for you guys. So I took the ribbon, I cut off a chunk, and I tied it together. So I've got these 2 little flaps here because I wanted to actually tie it around this layer, but for me it's difficult to tie it around a layer, to like hold this together while it's around the layer, blah blah whatever. So what I did was I just tied it like this, and now I'm going to just do this. I'm going to cut into the ribbon right there. And I'm going to push it onto my card. So I need to figure out, I kind of want it to be about like that. So I'm going to flip this over. There's one of my cut ends. I'm going to tape that down. Then I'm going to pull my other cut end around to the back, and I'm going to tape that down. So now nobody's going to know that I cheated to do this on the front, except me, well, and all of you. And then I'm just going to kind of trim off these ends just a little bit. And then I have a little bit of linen thread here. I just tied it into a knot, but I think I could also tie it into a bow. Except I think I have this upside down, so I don't know if I can turn this on there or not. We're going to see. I can. I can, in fact, twist that around. So now I can maybe tie it in a bow. If I can't tie it in a bow, no big deal. We'll just leave it in a knot. But I think that I can. Where's the other end? There we go. There. How cute is that? Okay. I think I widened that up a little bit when I was messing around with it. So I need to make it a little tighter. So I am going to pull that. So that's tight. And I'm going to pull this top one. So it's tight also. Okay. Need my tape after all. So then I'm going to add that to my card with some dimensionals, which they should be here somewhere because I just had them. And so this card uses, it doesn't really use the dies. It does because I am going to put a little piece on here that is a die cut, but you wouldn't have to. Okay, so I'm going to try to center this as best I can. I think this is fairly centered. All right, I need to tap my phone again to see if you guys have any comments going on because my, there we go. Okay, so I didn't really see any comments, so we'll go with that. So then this is one of the pieces of washi tape. You can see it's right there. And I'm going to add that right over the top just so there's a little bit of interest, like I have something 3D on there. I thought that might be kind of fun. To bring in a mini because I feel like I need a mini dimensional up here, maybe a mini over here on this leaf. All right, so we'll peel the backings off of those. And then I'm just gonna, it just so happens that my washi tape design was right there, the piece. So now I have a little bit of 3D action going on. I did take a tiny little strip of soft seafoam. This is like a 3/8 inch wide strip. This is crooked. Why? My eyes are the literal worst. You know what? I'm going to have to leave it and just be okay that it's crooked. And so I don't know where I want to put this. I think I kind of want to put it up here. I think that's what I'm going to do with it. Right up there. I'm just going to add a little glue to this. And I'm going to have it hang off the edge just a tiny bit, just for some added interest there. I think that might be kind of fun. Isn't that fun? Now I need some gems. Where are they? Ooh. How about these? Let's see what these will look like. These are the strawberry slush and pretty in pink, but I feel like they'll go, I feel like it'll still go with the poppy parade. Will it? I think it might. I think if we just kind of randomly throw a few of these little guys around, that they'll add a bit of interest. Here's one up here. This is a darker one. Something like that. Yes, I am liking that. And then I did do the inside. I just took some of the little die cut pieces off the white cardstock and just threw them in there. And then I can write my message. But so we have that. I hope you guys like that. I like this one a lot. So let me put that aside. I'll bring everything back in when I'm done. I do have one more card to share with you guys. So let's take a look at this one here. Okay. So this one, we would start out with a layer of white, just a plain layer of white. And I'm going to stamp the large floral image on it. I do need a scratch paper because the image is a little bit bigger than my piece of cardstock. So let me put some of that stuff away. Where is my memento? Here it is. So I'm going to ink up the whole thing, and then I'm going to stamp it onto my white paper. So we'll just kind of take this was a white craft pad. White craft ink pads come uninked with a tube of ink. But since I wanted a foam mounted memento pad, I decided just to get this pad and then ink it up with a memento reinker. So now it is black memento rather than white. Okay. And so I'm just going to kind of stamp that on there. No real rhyme or reason to it. Oh, you know what? I screwed that up. We're going to start over. This isn't the one we're going to put on the card, so it's fine. Okay, we're going to do the half and half method. That's what we have to do. So we're going to go half down here at the bottom. Oh, goodness. Why do people always think they need to call me when I'm live? It's probably a spam call. Yes, it is. It even says spam risk right on it. And I can't stop it from ringing, so we just have to deal with it. And we're going to flip this. I should set my answering machine to answer sooner, apparently. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp one more time. There we go. So now I have like the whole thing there. And now I am going to use my blends. I think it was it Judy? One of you guys mentioned using blends earlier. So now we are going to use blends. And I'm going to pull in, what do we have here? I have Summer Splash and the, what is this? Strawberry Slush. I have a dark soft sea foam, and then I have a light Pool Party. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just going to do a little bit, and then I'll just pull in the finished piece. Because not that it's a super hard thing to color this, but it does take a little while. So I decided to go with any of the small flowers I would do in the strawberry or in the Summer Splash. And so I've got these little kind of single small flowers that I'm going to do in this bluish color. So pretty. And then, of course, we're going to do all of our leafy pieces will be done in soft seafoam. All of a sudden, I forgot what that color was called. So this is the light Strawberry Slush, and I'm going to do the whole flower. I'm kind of trying not to go over the black lines. Sometimes it can bleed a little bit if you color over it too much. Maybe I didn't let it dry long enough. I don't know. Sometimes it happens to me. Sometimes it does not. But I am going to then bring in the dark and then add just kind of a little bit of detail here and there, just to have a little bit, some darker sections maybe, just to add some interest there. Okay. That, oh, and then I'm going to get these little, I'm assuming these are like, I don't even know what they are. Maybe they're roses. Maybe they're not. I don't know what they are. What did I do with that? Oh, then I'm going to get the little kind of tops of these. I think they're cone flowers. We'll get the little insides of that. Come back with our Strawberry Slush, and we'll get the petals on these cone flowers. Okay. And then as you can see, we have a lot of greenery that we need to color in with our soft seafoam. So we'll just color some of this. And then I was debating, after I got this whole thing colored, I kind of thought it has a lot of white space still. And I was like, what should I do without that white space? And so I was very tempted to take my Pool Party marker and color in all of the white space. But then I decided I didn't want to do that. So I will show you what I did instead here momentarily after we get some of these things colored in. Okay. We'll go ahead and color in these flowers here. There's kind of a large one and a smaller one, and we're going to do those in the Strawberry Slush. I'll do one dark and one light. Okay, so you can see I would have done the whole piece. So what I decided to do, I could have added some dots with a black marker. That would have been a good idea. I didn't think about that. But what I did decide to do was to take my Pool Party marker and just outline every one of these images. And I actually really liked how it turned out, rather than coloring in the whole thing. But the dots, that could have been a pretty cool idea. So that might be an idea for another day, Judy. And I tried to be a little careful, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, if I screw this up and I don't get it perfectly around, then I was fine. And at first, when I was going over these little tiny flowers, I thought, oh, maybe I should have colored them a different color, because I didn't go into this planning to do this outline with the Pool Party. This was like an afterthought that turned out actually pretty cool when you see my finished card. So you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing here. I'm just outlining around each one of these images and trying to be mindful of the whole thing. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can kind of see there's a little bit of an outline there. So here is my finished card. This is what it turned out to be. You can definitely see my outline on everything. I've got everything all colored. I added a little 1 3/4 inch circle. I just punched that out and I pulled another sentiment out of the Right Words stamp set. This says, "You're so kind." I stamped it kind of off to the right towards the bottom, and then I just added a couple of the die cut flowers that I had taken off of the white. I stamped it again and then die cut the white. Added a little bit of strawberry slush ribbon. I backed it onto a piece of soft seafoam and then onto a summer splash card base. So I ended up cutting my white layer to 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then my soft seafoam layer is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, and then this is just a standard card base. And then on the inside, I stamped another little sentiment there, and then pulled in a few more of those little die cut pieces. So that is my kind of presentation of this fantastic suite of, it's not really a suite, it's a bundle and the washi tape. I kind of thought it would be an entire bundle together, but it's not. And so again, here is the two colors on white. We did have it on some, what is this, strawberry slush. I think I had it on a basic beige. Oh, here we go. Here it is on basic beige. So you can kind of see the difference there with the white. Oh, I also decided to stamp it in Secret Sea on cloud cover, and then I colored in the pieces with light and dark cloud cover marker. And so I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I just thought they might look kind of cool, you know, on maybe like a Secret Sea card base or something like that. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these just yet, but I thought they turned out pretty cool. So there is a bunch of them stamped on a single color and then just kind of colored in lightly. Just trying to see if there's anything else that I had kind of done that I could share with you guys that, you know, is kind of cool. I think that's kind of everything that I did. So I'll bring my cards back in. So here is the stamp that I colored with blends. Here is just a piece of the washi tape used as like basically designer series paper. Here are some of the white pieces layered onto a circle. All right, here is the die used as a stencil. Ooh, someone said Wink of Stella. Yes, Tony, they would look good with Wink of Stella. You are so right. And then I have this, the boring card. And then the boring card. But this was kind of like my favorite thing. I thought that turned out really cool. I love the kind of ombre effect that gave. But I guess I really like this too, where I kind of colored them in. And my color combination for that came from the Color Coach, because I am color challenged. And here it is, soft seafoam, summer splash, and strawberry slush. And that's where I got that color combo from. So I hope you guys like that. I did add some of the summer splash flat pearls, and those things, if you guys haven't seen those, they are stunning. These things are, they are so shiny. The colors are so pretty. The camera does not do them justice. They have a very soft, like iridescent shine to them. They're just fantastic, and they are in both sets of in colors. This is last year's in colors, and then of course we have them in this year's in colors too. But if you guys haven't checked those out, definitely do that. I didn't do any of my blah, blah, blah at the beginning of the show. Do I have any blah, blah, blah to talk about? This is my gift with purchase. Anybody who orders anything from me in the month of May will get this PDF file from me. It's the Florals in Bloom cards collection. If your order is $50 or more, you will get this tutorial using a bunch of different things from our new release. Also, if your order is $35 or more, you get an invitation to our Stamp Happy Party, which is a monthly thing where we take a card layout and the three of us each make a card with it. We had a lot of fun with our layout last month. It was great. And then what we decided to do is we will take somebody who's watching with us live and we gift them our cards. So the three of us mailed our cards out to 3 viewers, which was really fun. So that is the Stamp Happy Party. Where's my Stamp Happy Party? I don't have any more product shares. They are all gone. Color Club you could still sign up for if you want to. I don't know where my Stamp Happy Party thing is. Nope, not that. But you are all aware of the new Stampin' Rewards program, which is amazing. I find myself ordering it more frequently now that I get rewards, no matter, just ordering $20. So that's pretty awesome. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope you enjoyed my presentation of the Extraordinary Flora stuff. I think it's fantastic, and if you don't have it, I think you should get it. And you could get it from me in my store right now today, just saying. That is all, folks. I will see you guys here next week with some more, hopefully, fantastic cards. And until then, I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye, guys.